Hello YouTube. Back here at the sawmill today. We're going to try it one more time. And hopefully we get it to start. Get the old Detroit, old 671 to rolling again. If you haven't noticed, I'm in a sleeveless t-shirt and it is early November. I don't know, it's a Saturday. I forget what day it is. But it's a warm day. But we got some freezing temperatures coming in. Today's really nice, but I reckon next week's supposed to be down to like 40s and stuff. So that's going to be pretty cold. I think, and 40s is the high. So when I say 40s, I don't mean that's like a low. It's going to be the high 40s. So try to get the old girl fire off today. Let it run. I figured today's going to be my best day for it. Then it's going to be warm. Try to see if everything moves. See what and all might be stuck. I'm pretty sure that chain drag is not going to move, but we shall see. We shall see. I'm going to try to find a good place to set you guys up, and we're going to give it a try. All right. Got it. Y'all didn't see the worst of it. I forgot to turn the camera on. So, I hope everybody can hear me. We'll step out here a little bit. When I first set the camera up, I didn't turn it on. I went around there and tried to crank it. And it cranked just a little bit with a couple puffs and then it stopped. It wasn't that it stopped cranking, it stopped puffing smoke, which is an indicator that it's out of fuel. So come back over here, check my fuel filter. Sorry. Fuel filter, and I was empty, bone dry. So what I ended up having to do is I had to pick up the fuel tank, siphon some down in there into the fuel filter, gravity feed, because that fuel filter is a canister style housing, but it's got a little drain plug, so I popped that plug, filled the fuel filter up, and I had, because my overflow, my return, wouldn't reach to stick back into the top, so I had to hit it in a gallon jug, and once it fired off, it started filling that gallon jug up. That's the reason I just now cut it off and drain my gallon jug back into the tank and set my tank back down on the ground. Eventually I want to run 2 lines over to that big fuel barrel right there. That way I don't have that problem. It'll be a permanent fix. It'll be gravity fed. Won't ever have to worry about that. But when I siphon, I got a mouthful of diesel fuel. Still tastes it. But once the fuel filter was full, that's like a crank. And I also think there was some stink bugs in it because that jug was totally empty when I started. When I put my return line in it, it's totally empty, clean. The outside was dirty, but the inside was clean. When I went to pouring it back in there, I noticed there was 2 stink bugs in there. Y'all know how them stink bugs are; they'll get into anything. So I don't know where they came from. They got in there. But yeah, she fired right up. I love it. Absolutely love it. Let it warm up a little bit, and then we'll try to engage everything and see how she moves. Alright guys, she runs. I know it would. No fear. No, but seriously though, really am glad that everything seems to move good. That thing, that chain drag has always given me problems, mainly because I really need some steel, but I used wood because it's what I had, and y'all know how I like to use what I have. But anyway, this right here wants to give down on this side. That causes this belt to be extremely loose. As you can see, I could put something in there and kind of snug it and it would rub against it and it would tighten it up. But also I noticed it's actually rubbing on this. So that tells me these right here need to be probably tightened up, jammed in there a little more. That's a compression style fitting. It goes in and it just squeezes is all it really does. There's no keyway or nothing like that. If there's a keyway in there, we'd be good, but there's not. It's just a solid shaft that just squeezes down on that shaft. But it needs to be tighter, as you can. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it's got a little bit of a lean to it, where it just slowly pulls. I noticed my power pack belt was a little loose as it was running, so I need to tighten it up. I need to grease everything on this mill, like everything. It's like I say, for it to move and operate after a year and a half of sitting, and honestly, if you had to grease it, oil it, get that right there dragged running, you'd be ready to rock and roll again. I mean, I love it. I love it. That's one thing I love about this mill, and honestly that I just like about diesels. The more I've got into diesels can sit, especially old ones, can sit for a year and a half, 2 years, fire right up. Okay, so my fuel was out of my filter. Probably it's done that when I was cranking on it the other day and it wasn't cranking it fast enough. So I lost some of my prime there. But put the filter, fill it back up. Fill the fuel filter back up, and it was good to go. She fired right off. That being said, I do want to do. I got to get some. That's yeah. As you can see, I've tore this off. I don't remember if I had that on the previous video. I've slept since then. So what I want to do. Still got diesel fuel in my mouth. So what I want to do is either stack up, more than likely I'm going to stack up block. I got plenty of block left over from the house, so I'm going to stack up block. I'm going to dig down, stack block on each one of those piers, bring them up, and then I'm going to refloor this whole section here. For it to have been out in the weather, those two boards were really the only ones that were terribly bad, but I want to refloor this. Probably, if everything goes right, it's probably going to get refloored with 2x. 2x, probably 2x6s, 2x10s, something like that. I don't know. Again, whatever I got. Whatever I can come up with. Eventually I want to extend the mill or all that good stuff, but if I can get this refloored for right now and get a roof over this thing, the entirety, bare minimum, I would like to build a walk around the whole thing. But I would like to extend it at least another, I don't know, probably 15 feet out there, give or take, something like that. Yeah, 10 feet minimum. I feel like would be a good size. So, yeah. Anyway, told y'all guys I'd get her running. She runs. 671 Detroit lives again. You can't beat them. They're old engines, but well, if you don't like a screaming demon engine, then you're probably not going to like it because these things scream. But if you do like them, if you love a 671 or 371 or a 471 or just any of the old Detroits, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share it to friends. Let them see this beast come back to life. It's been right at a year and a half. I can I can with good confidence say a year and a half, possibly almost 2, but every bit of a year and a half since it was even cranked. I cranked it just the other day, but it didn't start, and then today she runs. So maybe as the cold weather comes on, I'll get a good deep cold weather start on it and see how she does again in the real cold. But for today, that's going to be it because I got some cows to fool with. We're separated out our heifers from our rest of our herd because we're putting a bull in there with them, and I'm not ready for those heifers yet. So to get going. So we separated them out. So I got some other things I need to do before the cold weather comes in. Guys, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.